what in the fuck happens.
Yeah,
So
don't you
we're
have to read threads and everything too now?
no, I don't even have to look at it. It's streaming. It's not great, but it's streaming. It's green. Are we on? Just bear with us for a second, folks. I'm just gonna check this shit out.
Yeah, he don't know what he's doing. It's amateur whipping this bitch, and I'm getting tired of it.
Yeah, we're
Up and running, huh?
yeah, we're live.
Up
Fuck it.
and a running.
Fuck it. I don't know.
Fuck it. Let's do this. Let's do that. Do that.
Let's do that thing.
Yeah.
Get my fucking
All
name
right.
off. Our names aren't on the overlay I'm using doesn't have our names on it, so I don't,
Oh no.
people
Well,
aren't gonna know who we are, man.
You're gonna know who we are.
Oh good lord. So what's up, dude? Oh hey, so by the way, really weird thing happened to me when I was getting set up. I plugged my headphones in and to my microphone, so it lets me hear myself in real time, right? And as soon as I plug them in, I hear, oh, and he goes for the 3 for the win, and he makes it. Dude, it was the fucking Radford versus somebody Southern NCAA championship game. Like I heard the last like 30 seconds of the game through my microphone. Dude, so this is a known phenomenon apparently, where if you just create like a simple circuit of like speakers, and I'm gonna sound so stupid to people who know what this is, but something to do with when you build a simple circuit that has speakers in it, that circuit can act as an antenna if you arrange it the right way by accident. And somehow on my brand new, this was the first time recording on this computer.
That's awesome.
So something having to do with the way this was hooked up to the computer, and I plugged my headphones in, and the way the order in which I turned the power on in each of the things, I was fucking picking up some radio broadcasts of one of the NCAA fucking tournaments.
That's cool.
It was pretty cool. So I listened to it and I'm like, what is this? And like, let me make sure I'm not tapping into like some alternate timeline of blah, blah. So I went on Google and I started.
Let me make sure that I'm not a
hey man,
time.
Listen, dude, I started watching the Cloverfield Paradox last night, so my brain's a little scrambled.
Is that a crazy movie? Is it like a movie or is it like
movie.
a documentary? It's a movie.
It's a movie,
okay.
yeah.
Do I need to have seen the other ones? Because I have.
No, it just kind of explains like kind of like why
what the fuck is actually going on?
Well, yeah, because all right, so the first one you have the giant monster.
Right at the end, that last quick little blip of fucking.
Right, but the whole point was there's this monster and there was like these monster things, whatever. And the second one there was like aliens, I guess. To spoil it, if you haven't seen it, sorry.
No, Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah. Yeah, there was like more monsters or aliens or some shit.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
The whole time you don't know if there actually is something going on outside the bunker.
I wouldn't have described it like that at all. But yeah, I've seen it. I've definitely seen it.
Yeah, so either way, both movies involve some sort of monster alien things. And the third movie kind of explains how it happened.
Gotcha, perfect. I'm down. I want to watch it now.
So check it out.
Yeah, okay.
But it has to do with like parallel dimension kind of weird shit.
Okay.
But yeah, it was neat.
That's
neat.
awesome.
Yeah.
We went out for a dinner party last night to my friend Sean's house.
Oh, okay, cool.
Joe was there, his wife, and one of my buddies that I haven't seen since high school.
Joe who?
The cast man.
Ah.
Oh, excuse me, folks. I'm probably gonna be yawning a lot.
It's all good. This is a bonus. This is a bonus episode. I'm not even gonna number it. This is bonus. Sunday afternoon.
Dude, we had a really good time playing catchphrase, dude. Laughing our asses off, dude. Like laughed the entire time, like really hard. It was a really good time. I had my phone on silent, and Cameron was at my mother's house overnight. So I freaking had my phone on silent. We get home, me and Lauren are like, sweet, little night to ourselves. It's going to be cool. We're going to hang out. And she was like, I'm going to watch TV. And I'm like, sweet, I'm going to go play a game. But regardless, I go downstairs, turn my phone on. Dude, I had 44 text messages.
Oh, no.
And like 30 missed calls. And I'm like, oh no.
All
dude,
right,
I look right in
it. I'm going
it.
to try and guess. The calls were all from the police, and your 2-year-old son murdered one of the neighbors' entire family.
Absolutely not. Not the case at all.
I thought I nailed it.
People were asking me about a puppy that I had available. A little German Shepherd puppy. I'm like, oh my God, somebody took out a Craigslist ad and put the wrong phone number on it.
I'm thinking somebody pranked you, like the time I sent all those magazines to your house.
Dude, oh my God, I forgot we were doing that to each other.
I forgot too. This was like what?
I forgot.
6 years ago or
we
something?
did that. Yeah. But dude, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, da da da. But then all of a sudden, like, I'm like,
Yeah, because my first thought was like, you got a puppy, you found a puppy and didn't tell me about it? Like, how did I talk to you like every day?
exactly, not the case. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm not really paying attention. So I'm like, oh no, whatever. But then I'm like, I'm scrolling to start deleting them. One of them said, "Hey Joe," and I'm like, random number. So I click on that one, thinking it was a random phone number, maybe you know what I mean, something for work or whatever. Yeah. "Hey Joe, do you still have the puppy available?" And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, Laura, I said this one has my name on it. She goes, dude, I bet you so and so, my friend David, fucking, he did prank me, dude. He put a fucking ad out with my name, pictures, my phone number.
Oh, that's
dude,
great.
My phone just went off 3 times just now. I bet you it's freaking text messages
about the puppy.
About the puppy, dude. It's been going off all day. Dude, I was watching the B episode.
What a pain
I was watching the B
dude.
episode with your buddy Buzz, dude.
Yeah, did you like it, by the way?
Awesome. I loved it. It was a fantastic episode, and people should really watch that. It was cool.
Yeah,
it was really cool because it was stuff that I didn't know. Honestly, it made me much more intrigued, and I want more. I want more on that.
Hey, man, let me know some questions, and
yeah,
we can
I will. I'll jot down
on,
some stuff. I had stuff when I was doing it. I'll have to watch it again.
Did you see my description on Facebook of it? Oh, you're not on Facebook, right? I said something like, I sit down with my buddy Buzz, and he did his best to keep it professional, while I did my best to derail him.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
With all my interruptions about stupid little details.
Interruptions.
Yeah,
it's all right, dude. Because you know what? There was a point where I'm like, damn it, Jake, shut up. Just let him go. Just let him go, bro. Because I felt like because it happens, dude. You're in the middle of something. You guys are talking. He's got his thing going on. You're wanting to ask that question, but at the same time, you almost don't want him to get so far off into where he's going that you can't make your question relevant anymore. Or so, you know what I mean? So I completely understand where you're coming from, and I was just like, I guess there was a couple questions. I gotta write it down.
My whole approach was like, at the end of the day, I'm sitting down because I want to sit down with Buzz.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to make a fucking National Geographic special.
Right. Yes.
So if there's a detail that I want to know, I'm gonna stop him and find out the detail.
And ask him.
And he knows what he's talking about well enough that he can get back on track. And he
was doing a perfectly good job.
Yeah, he did a great job. But the thing about it was that at the end of I would rather him only get through 5 of his 10 talking points
and do it again.
But me pick apart those 5 instead of letting him get through all 10 and me have my own unanswered questions. Exactly. You know what I mean?
I was shocked just the smoker alone. Who would have thought denim? That's crazy.
Those are the kind of little details, man. He's like, yeah, you can just use a little blue jean in here, and I'm like, hold up.
What?
What else can you like? What? And he's like, well,
you brought up the mushroom thing.
Yeah, exactly. I was in the moment. I was like forgetting like details that I wanted to, but he was like, no. He's like, nobody does that. We all wear fucking blue jeans, dude.
Something shell. What the hell was the name of that mushroom too that he was talking about? The one he had his hat was made out of.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I don't remember.
I'm not gonna be able to think of it. I'm not gonna be able to think about it. I almost turned that podcast on just so I can get to that point and remember it. Because I know that if you brought it up in that context and then I searched it out again.
Well, I think he listened to it too, because as a beekeeper, I told him as soon as I heard about that stuff on the Paul Stamets Joe Rogan podcast, I talked to him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I never heard of this guy." And then like a couple weeks later, I see him again. He's like, "Dude, all my beekeeper friends are asking me if I know about Paul Stamets." I was
no way! Wow,
yeah, that's what he said.
Timing thing.
Yeah.
What's that called when something occurs on 2 sides of the planet? About coming up with the cognitive.
Yeah, when people like invent things at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, like within the same year, shit like that.
Yeah, they were like studying this certain group of monkeys that had actually started using something to they were holding nuts with sticks or something like that, and smashing them.
It's called the 100th. I think it's called the 100th monkey phenomenon.
You fucking with me right now?
Mm-mm. No, my buddy Paul talks about it all the time. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And it's the idea that there's a critical mass of a species that can learn something, and then once it hits that critical number, it's much easier for the rest of the species to figure it out. Like if you took a whole bunch of mice and taught them a maze really well in the United States, and gave that same maze to, the same maze to mice in like England. I think they've done this where they give them the same one, and then they learn it faster than the ones in the United States did. It's bananas, dude. I was saying some crazy.
Dude,
I was talking to Jessica
to me
today.
Makes it seem like we are one huge organism on this
Joe,
planet.
we don't know what the fuck is going on, dude. We
Yeah.
don't know what. Because listen, Jessica was talking about. We were sitting down today talking about like crystals and oracle cards and stuff like that, and she's really into that stuff. And I haven't nailed down an opinion on all of that yet.
Yeah, I didn't know Jessica was a dumb person.
Ooh,
Come on.
This is
you gotta
over.
roll the dice sometimes.
No, but the whole thing is like, people such easily people are like, well, isn't that stuff? Yeah, okay, it works, but isn't that just like the placebo effect?
It could be.
Whoa.
It doesn't matter.
Don't even that. Well, that's the thing.
Go ahead.
Okay, sure. Call it the placebo effect. How can you just dismiss that? So then you're just dismissing the placebo effect as if that's not some crazy magical thing?
That's not some crazy magical thing.
Bro, yeah, we don't know how the fuck the placebo effect works at all.
Jackie was talking about that with the diet, the gluten-free diet that they did for Jonathan, and with all his outbursts and everything like that, and everything that's been going on with him emotionally.
Yeah.
The diet's working,
mm-hmm.
and it really has no direct chemical effect,
right?
But it's working. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit, like, dude? That's the thing. Like, if somebody wants to take crystals and carry them around all day and like pray to the crystal gods or what the fuck ever,
go for it, dude.
Go for it. If it makes your life better and it makes you happier, by all means,
and you're overall feeling better about things. And
not only are you doing yourself a service, you're doing everyone around you a service.
Yes,
but to go to someone and say you're fucking stupid, that stuff's all made up, blah blah blah. Yeah. Who are you helping by doing that? Nobody. Literally nobody.
Yep.
You're just being a negative Nancy.
And nobody likes a negative Nancy.
Nobody.
Except for Gloomy Gil.
Yeah, Gloomy Gus.
It's
Gil.
I don't care.
Gus.
I thought I just made that up. I didn't even know
it's
that
Gloomy
was
Gus, I think. Yeah.
I think what just happened too is both of us just turned and looked the same direction.
Out the window.
Went like this.
Yeah, we both have a window to our left.
And now on my screen, it looks like there's something occurring.
No, what? Joe, do you see that over there, dude?
What is
that?
Shit. Oh my God, people are gonna definitely hate this podcast.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Yeah, dude. So he got me really good with that prank, dude. I still can't even believe he did it. Dude, my phone's been going off all
That's
day.
great.
It's
what did I
funny,
do?
man.
What kind of magazines did I send to you? Do you remember at all?
No, you sent me weird. We were sending each other like brochures.
Yep. I think I sent you some sort of like realty thing or something.
Realty thing, yeah, some realty applications you sent me. We were sending each other weird stuff, dude. Then it got to the point where I was like, I think I actually was like gonna start spending money on shit.
Yeah, I remember you saying something like that, where you were like, I had the urge to spend $10 to get you a year subscription to something, but I was like, you know what? Let's just call it quits. Let's call it quits
because I'd rather say, dude, what magazine would you like to read? I'm gonna buy you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me go out of my way. Well, Jake would have been like, damn, dude, you could have gotten me like a year subscription to like Sports Illustrated or something. I would have actually read that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm literally throwing paper away so I can throw paper away.
I think I was sending you like Victoria's Secrets or something like that at one point.
Yeah, it was stuff like that, dude. It was, and you know what else, dude? Weren't we sending each other sample? I was calling in free samples.
Oh, that's what it
was.
That's how it started. You sent me a free sample of like a memory foam mattress or something.
Yes.
Yeah, the Tempur-Pedic little because I think I got it in the mail and I'm like looking at it like, why do I have this? This is great. I love touching it, but why is it here?
Why do I have this? Oh my God, I love it. That is fucking great,
good times. I was back in the condo days, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I was
looking at that condo, dude. The condo's looking really good, actually.
Good.
Yeah, it's been going really well.
Great.
Yep. My tenant has been there consistently.
That's great.
I've had no problems. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
She said she's gonna stay there for a long time. She's actually pregnant. Her boyfriend, I think, is moving in. So.
Cool.
I'm pumped. Got a good tenant.
Little traditional family situation going on there. That's great.
Yeah. I'm very, very happy about it.
I've heard like horror stories about
tenants.
Like, no, not necessarily tenants, but like condo associations and like housing associations and stuff like that. Do you ever have to deal with anything like that?
Yeah, I was a vice president for like 2 years.
Oh,
I was a vice president of my condo association for like 2 years, dude. Yeah, I was I started off as like, just a member, and
Right.
then I got voted in as the treasurer or something. I can't remember, dude. But then I was ended up being like the vice president. And then it just once Cameron was born, dude, and once I got to the new store, I was just like, guys, I said, I just don't have time for the stress of this shit.
Yeah.
It just really wasn't worth it to
What
me.
was that even
Um,
like?
it was cool, dude, because you don't realize the different kinds of it was nice because there was bureaucracy in it, so it was kind of cool because it was all chain of command and everything like that, and going through all the different people's problems and what the problems were that affected everybody in the condo.
Sure.
Um, the tough thing is because you're only going to hear the negative things. People aren't going to come to you and come to the meeting and be like, hey, I had a really good time, you know what I mean, like getting to my car this year because a snowplow was no, it was like, what the fuck, they did a shitty job on this, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
mad about. So it was a lot of that. Was probably one of the other things too, is the stress of it. Then
It's
we
just
had this
always
one.
negative.
It was just always negative stuff. We
Mm.
had the main one of the main reasons why I was like, F this noise. There was a tenant, older woman.
Mm-hmm.
She was probably 70.
Yeah.
She had just bought the condo. Never lived in Connecticut, and she moves to Waterbury, Connecticut. In that area, bro.
So what happened? She like thought she's like, here's Connecticut's
So
full of rich
I'm
people,
like,
and decides, oh, it doesn't matter where I live, and ends up in
not
Waterbury.
effing Boca Raton, Florida, sweetheart. I'm sorry, but this is not a retirement community. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
what happened was, is she was pissed about. It was just stupid crap over and over and over again, dude. It was a really ridiculous thing. I tried to deal with her. She just started going off on me, and I just looked at her. I said, ma'am, I'm gonna make you understand something real soon. I am only here to help you. I am the one that has been advocating for this, your situation, what she was looking for. I said, I was the one that was advocating this the most.
Mm-hmm.
I was the one that was instrumental in making sure people saw your side of this situation. I said, and so far I've been standing alone. I said, after meeting you in person, I am 100% going to do everything I can to make sure you don't get what you want. I said, because you are an absolutely rude person that has no inclination whatsoever of what it takes to be able to go through the processes we need to do to get this done for you.
Yeah.
And I've been pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. But now that we've actually had this meeting and sat down and I saw you react to my other colleagues, I said, I have absolutely no desire whatsoever to help you. I says, and in all honesty, I don't think you deserve it. And because she was justified in what she wanted and I was supporting it. And then we had another.
What was it? Do you remember what it was?
It was, I believe it was she wanted to take over two people's parking spots and turn it into an extra large handicap spot. She didn't have a lift. She just didn't like walking as far as she did. She wanted a closer parking spot.
Oh.
She wanted a closer parking spot.
And she was like legit handicapped.
No, she was just old. And listen, I was totally in support of it. Yeah, absolutely. What the hell? If this guy is willing to give up his spot,
sure.
We're only gonna lose a visitor spot on the opposite side. The three other tenants agreed to it. Then we'll do it like this. She has a closer spot. We'll put another handicap, like the
sure.
Like a walkway thing that nobody can park in. That everybody
with
can
the horizontal or the diagonal
horizontal
lines.
Absolutely no reason why whatsoever that couldn't be something that existed.
Sure.
She had another advocate that came down and was trying to play it off like we were denying people the right for access to the blah, blah, blah. The guy was blind, and you know what I mean? When he was ready to go, he was getting a car that was coming to pick him up, but he didn't have anybody there to like guide him.
Sure.
Besides this other older woman. So I said, I'm going to walk you out. I said, I'll walk you out and stand with you until your car. Oh, that would be really fantastic. I really appreciate it. As we're walking out, we waited 10 minutes. Now the rest of the board is inside doing this meeting, and I just start talking to them. I said, listen, guys, I said, just this was actually the first meeting. Everything that I had said to her was after this.
Okay.
I got her to agree to do, you know what I mean, basically a spot and a half where we would have checkers on both sides.
Sure.
I said, so then I said, now we can have access easier to the garbage cans, your handicap parking spot, flanked with another cutoff line, the line thing, you know what I mean, segmented. They were both like, that's fantastic, that's really agreeable. I says, well, I'm going to go back inside and I'm going to see if and I got everybody to say yes, we got it all solved, finished, blah, blah, blah. She flipped out the day that we were going there to actually set the whole thing up. We got it all set and ready and everything like that. Was ready to paint it, and she's like, "No, that's not what I want." And we're like, "That's exactly what you agreed upon." So then it was just it. That was one of the biggest reasons where I was just like, "F this noise."
So she thinks she tried to take advantage of the fact that you guys had some sort of verbal conversation and nothing was on paper. So she thought she had you wrapped around her finger.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it was like, no, listen, we don't need to do this. By law, we don't need to provide you with a handicap spot.
Yeah.
It's not a fucking retirement community.
Yeah.
The vast majority of people that live in this area are dealing drugs, and there's robberies, and it's not a safe place that I would want my 7-year-old mother to be, period. Anyway. I fucking moved out of the place.
Yeah, so she's quite literally barking up the wrong tree, even maybe in the wrong forest entirely.
100%, dude. She was definitely in the wrong forest. And listen, I'm not trying to take away the fact that yes, we could have very well tried to appease her and everything like that. But
she was just a bitch about it.
This is the thing is that I said too, after a meeting or two, I said, I'm going to tell you all this right now. This woman realized she made a mistake purchasing where she purchased.
Yeah.
I said, she is trying to get us to do this because she wants it as a selling point to sell her home faster. I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Jake, within 2 to 3 months, she was gone. The place was sold.
Wow.
And I called it. And the dude, actually, the president was like, Joe, he's like, dude, you totally called that every aspect of it. I said, I was calling it the entire time. I knew it.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, that's shitty that you ran into that, but I imagine it's the kind of thing that'll wear you down pretty quickly.
Yeah. It was a good experience just because, you know what I mean? It's nice to.
Well, that's interesting because the way I led into that was because I've read, there's been like Reddit threads, people just talking about horror stories being on the other end of, like, for example, like people getting fined by their homeowners association because they didn't cut their grass like every fucking 5 days or something.
Oh yeah,
like
dude,
that,
there is some crazy rules like that. Well, like they're not allowed to have dogs.
Yeah.
So we went through this process to like find somebody. There's a certain amount of fines that we're allowed to, legally put on to people that have dogs, and you're not supposed to have dogs, so you put it right into their common fees, and you got to pay it.
Yeah.
And dude, this guy wouldn't pay it, and it ended up coming up to like $4,000. And then we got into all these bad legal battles, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then he was trying to cite the dates and then the witness of when they first got. Dude, we had to go to court and everything like that and delegations. And it was just like, I'm like, this sucks, man. I'm like, this is just not
for
fun.
What?
It's not
yeah,
cool.
For what?
For what? I don't give a shit if the guy's got a dog. I understand it when you're in a condo situation and somebody's got a dog, they go to work, the dog barks all day. Yeah, I work third shift, I come home, I got to sleep during the day, but then here this person is at work and doesn't even know that their dog's barking.
Right.
I respect that. They're, and if it's an owner-occupied unit, what do I care if they have a dog that might piss on their carpet and destroy their siding or destroy their trim? I don't care. The dog has,
It's got to be the kind of thing where, like, a lot of these rules exist because one person just ran amok and was just abusing the shit out of the lack of a rule, and they just had to fucking crack down.
Yeah.
And now there's a rule, and the rule, that was 20 years ago, so now it's the rule, and it's a lot harder,
Yeah. The other thing is, too, though, people don't clean up after their dogs. There's common areas for everybody. You know what I mean?
That's true. You don't want to go stepping in shit, just taking the trash out.
You know what I mean? All the dry dog shit that's been sitting outside of your place because this person decides to walk to the other end of the unit.
Side note, I've noticed that if you ever end up with a dog, again, I feed my dog grain-free food.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed that, like, her poop, her droppings, bowel movements, if you will.
Dude, it's shit. We know what it is. I just said dog shit 3 times.
It doesn't hang around.
Oh,
because it's not full of filth. Yeah, it just like maybe a couple of days I'll like go by a spot where she took a shit and it's like.
Well, she's also a smaller dog too. That could probably help the situation.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, the neighbor has a small dog. Like,
why is that? That's crazy. You think about that. How is dog shit not fertilizer like everything else?
Because they're fed poor diets. Because kibble is like full of fillers and shit. There's not actually a lot of nutrition in it. But this if you feed your dog stuff that its body's actually going to use, the stuff that falls out the other end is just like it's supposed to be dead bacteria and stuff they can't digest. and the bacteria that's outside is like, yes, please. But if it's all just full of like GMO wheat and shit like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just gonna collect.
It's just gonna sit there, turn into like a little nugget.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That makes sense. That's actually really that's good. That's smart. I actually have a huge container of food left over
shit?
from Haley.
Oh.
No. Haley's food. It's just been sitting in my garage. I got to get rid of it.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking about just bringing it into the woods.
Just throw it out there. You could donate it to an animal shelter.
I live in an animal shelter.
What?
My whole yard is an animal shelter.
Oh.
I'm looking at robin redbreasts right now. How do I know they don't want that shitty filler food?
I mean, it's probably a pretty educated guess. They're not going to eat the dog food you throw outside. Squirrels probably will.
Squirrels will.
Squirrels eat anything.
Squirrels will eat that. Yep.
Rotten fruit, whatever.
Yep. There was something else too I had, and I can't remember what it was now.
I don't even think you brought up a single thing that you had. I think I've just dominated the topics.
What are you talking about, dude? I was the first one I started talking about the prank. Then we got all on all that
prank,
crap.
Right. That's great.
Yeah. Then we were mailing shit to each other back in the condo days, condo association. It's pretty much been about me the whole fucking time, dude.
You wearing a what is that called? Like a poncho?
I got a dope ass poncho on, dude.
It is a poncho. You got a wolf and an eagle. That's dope.
Yep. That's your ass. You want to hear my great story about my poncho?
I do.
I buy it, and I'm like, this thing is so dope. And then, like, I realize as I'm standing around a fire, I'm like, this thing is kind of like, you know, I almost feel like I should have a belt around it so it doesn't, if I bend over, it's
just
not
gonna fall. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hang,
so I'm like, oh, it's just gonna hang there. So I'm like, all right, so maybe, you know, I can kind of like fashion some kind of belt or something like that to use. And then I'm like, yeah, you know what? And then I was standing outside one night, and I'm like, it wouldn't be bad if it had like pockets in here. You know what I mean? Like if I had like a pocket or something, then I'm sitting there and I'm like, I should have bought a fucking hoodie.
I just accidentally invented a
hoodie. I just accidentally invented a hoodie and realized I'm a moron for even wanting a fucking poncho. But I'll tell you what, dude, this thing is, dude, you're sitting outside by the fire or something like, dude, this thing is
It's a blanket. Bro. It's a big ass blanket.
It's so warm, dude. So warm with my dope ass hood on it too.
Yeah, oh, it's got a hood. Of course, it's got a hood.
Oh yeah, dude.
Nice. That's probably got to be like about 2 square meters of material there, huh?
It's huge, dude. It's on me, bro. It's big.
4 square meters, maybe.
Yeah, like everybody else puts it on and they disappear.
Remember
every time I bring it somewhere, though, dude, it's like people like put it on and then they try to disappear. Like everybody tries to steal this thing, dude. I'm at the point where I'm like, I ain't even bringing it around because, of course, I feel bad if I'm out somewhere, dude. You know what I mean? Some girl's like, it's cold out. Here, take my poncho.
Then you're like, oh, that sucks.
Where'd that bitch go, dude? Where's my fucking poncho, right?
Where's my fucking poncho?
Where's my poncho? Yep, Cameron had to sleep over at Grandma's house last night. Went fantastic.
Great.
Here comes, what's your cat's name?
Milo. Oh, you could see. Oh, yeah. That's Milo.
Yeah,
Milo, look up
here. Hi, Milo.
Hey, look up here.
Just in perfect cat fashion, like, F you, dude.
Yeah.
I heard this great thing about cats, and it was like, why do cats always look like you just asked them to give you a ride to the airport? Right?
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Kid's still sleeping. I think he's going to be up soon. He might actually be up right now.
Yeah.
I can't tell. Yeah, he's awake. That's all right, though.
Well, this is going very well, by the way, internet-wise.
That's good. Honestly, that's all I really cared about doing was just getting on and doing a good and streaming. So.
And I'm streaming.
Yeah, I think we're going to be mint. It's 3:30 on a Sunday.
I have 8 gigs of RAM on this computer. The processor is significantly faster than the other one.
Good.
And I'm good to go. We're good to go.
Killing it.
Quick question. I know we discussed a little bit about what bonus content can be. Did we talk about that a little bit?
What?
I don't remember. I'm trying to figure out like some bonus content to like maybe motivate people to get involved. I mean, obviously I haven't done much work on my end, but I'm trying to want to try and get the Patreon going a little bit. And one of the things I was thinking about doing was either streaming when we record and only giving Patreon donors the ability to watch it live versus just catching it later when it's recorded.
Okay.
Or doing an episode that like one episode a week that's exclusive streaming, not recorded, and only for subscribers.
Yeah, but you're gonna want to record it for the archive anyway, dude.
I know, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So
You're gonna want to record it for the archive. You can stream it and then just not release it, so it's only out then, and you hold on to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because then it could be the type. Yeah, dude. I think that's a great idea. I think something like that's a really good idea. I got to tell you, dude, that B thing was key. I really think the interviews are where you are going to shine the best. I love doing this, man, but I just don't think that we're going to be able to bring enough to the table on a regular.
Yeah, I never want to stop doing this, but I think that, you know, I think I'm getting used to the whole thing too, because like the other day when I did the call with Brett just to kind of feel out, you know, our chemistry, he started talking about something and I said, well, and I started explaining the backstory as if it was recorded and people were listening. But they weren't. It was literally just a video call, and I was like, "Wow, listen to me with my podcast mode on." Like,
yeah, that's good though, dude.
That's
good
what.
that
That's what he said. He's like, "It's
starting
good."
to become muscle memory, essentially.
Yeah,
because
basically.
without that, dude, you need to have that consistency. Like that's somebody said to me today. I was actually doing a paint job for somebody, and he was talking about how he started listening. I think he was listening to my interview. He says I started with number 1, and I'm like, well, I wasn't on number 1. He goes, well, no, the one that you were on. Him and his wife are huge. Yeah. They love podcasts, so they're starting to listen to it.
Oh, okay, cool.
He says, well, what do you guys talk about? What's your themes? I said, honestly, I think the most consistently you and I talk about everything, but I feel like the majority of it is like about Earth,
nature,
and existence and all that kind of stuff. It's such a broad spectrum, but it seems to be the thing that you and I always continuously go back to, which I really do enjoy, which I like. What did I just see the other day, though? Son of a bitch. I'm pissed I didn't write it down. Oh, new tardigrade.
I saw that too.
Discovered a new tardigrade?
I did see that. I don't know anything about it, though. I know nothing about it.
I know nothing about it. Anybody that doesn't know what a tardigrade is, it is pretty much the most durable life form in existence.
Well, why don't we save it? Because I actually have to go. But let's make tardigrades part of the topic for this week.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
all
tardigrades
right, I'll look up
and
a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, maybe tardigrades and like just crazy animal species or something.
Crazy resilient animals.
Resilient animals. That sounds good. Resilient animals.
All right.
I like that.
We'll do that.
All right, cool, man.
What are you getting into tonight? Nothing?
I got to do some scheduling for my time because I'm bad at that. So I'm going to be sitting down with Jessica and kind of figuring some stuff out.
That's a fucking lame excuse for nothing.
No, I really don't mean
nothing.
I don't mean nothing. Like I have to sit down and figure some shit out. But I don't know. Hit me up later. I don't know.
You got it, man.
Hey,
thanks for tuning in for those who were.
Yeah, this has been Super Serial Live bonus episode.
Live bonus. Bonus. All right, later. Love you. Bye.
Later. Love you. Bye.